The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the July 20th wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in any set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go check out the circumstance of these markets. We get to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, well, let those fingers do the walking. You can always send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Of course, in that subject heading, please put radio show question. And inside the Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we got the Dow trading up 5 points, 24,711 is the print. Actually, it's up 11 points. The S&P up 11 points as well, 2773. NASDAQ up 74. Russell up 13. That's up 1% and 0.8% respectively. Semis are up 0.7%. Trannies are up 0.5%. Spot volatility index trading out at 1246. Gold's back $3. Silver's flat. Light sweet crude up 39 cents. Movers and shakers. Movers to the upside. Amazon dollar-wise $25 and change. Google up 19. Booking Holdings up 17. Arista Networks up 12. Equinix up 12. Netflix up 12. The shakers are Anika Therapeutics down 17 points, 37%. That's taking it in the short, so to speak. Solid Biosciences down about $9. Madrigal Pharmaceuticals $6. Starbucks $5.50. Alarm Company Holdings, something like that, down about $5. Chipotle down $4. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at out there. And we had a number of questions that came in yesterday afternoon, and I mentioned that I would get to those today, so we're going to do that right off the bat. So one of the questions that came in was from Jamie. And Jamie, I'm going to apologize. My other system, my Ninja Trader system, shut down. Well, let me see. Maybe it is back up right now. Yeah. Okay. So it came back up, which just allows me to analyze charts in a different way out here. But Jamie was asking the question. He's been in AMD and Square since both, and just wanted me to go take a look at it. So let's go do that. Let's take a look at advanced micro devices out here. And as we look at it, longer term, you've been in it for a while. Longer term, this looks pretty nice because from a monthly standpoint, month is not over, June 20th. But if at the end of June, you see advanced micro devices close over 1555, that's a level of resistance. That's a TAS market profile high. And it's dealing with a swing point from back in July that had 1.7 million shares. You're 1.1 right now. Or 10 days worth of, not 10 trading sessions. I don't know how many days are left. Maybe it looks like maybe light volume. Doesn't matter. If you close above 1555, looks like advanced micro devices would want to continue to head higher out there. If I take a look at AMD, let me see what will happen here because my system is doing multiple things. I don't know if this chart is going to populate for me. Probably not. Yeah, okay. Too early in the show for that to populate, but that's okay. I can still give you excellent, extraordinary advice out here. AMD looks good. The other one that you were in was Square, SQ. Let's go take a look at Square. see what it is doing. This is an all-time high as we speak today. The case of Square, what do we have doctored up here? Well, we had the potential weekly three drive to a top pattern. That wouldn't unfold until the middle of July. So let me just go ahead and get rid of that out here. Give me a moment to do that. This thing's got an A to B equals CD. Let's see if it was a confirmed weekly chart. 83 million shares were passed with 38, 50, 46. So pass with light volume. That doesn't mean that the pattern doesn't unfold. And in this case here, it's made the one-to-one. This is the conservative one, by the way, at 68.04. So assuming we don't see any kind of reversal, then I would say, Jamie, looks like price is at 74.66 over time. And that is on Square. SQ is the ticker symbol. So thanks for waiting a full day for me to go ahead and take a look at that. Bob had a question about the Dow and Stevie's red line. I'm going to have to wait, Bob, until later in the show till all of my other charts kind of populate. But I will come back to the Dow for you. Mike in Texas wanted to take a look at Mu for a short coming into earnings. So I don't know if earnings were released before the bell or it's after the bell. It doesn't matter. You're looking for a short inside of Micron Technology out here. And so let's go see, what do we know about Micron Technology? One, the high, which was tested, the high from March 13th at 142 million shares. It was tested with 75 million and 84 million, tested and rejected. So what did price do? Price came back to a area of strength. Area of strength, what do you mean area of strength? Well, in the trading session of May 22nd, what Micron Technology did was gapped up with 111 million shares out there. You never know whether it's the top of the gap, in this case here, the bottom of May 23rd, or the bottom of the gap, which would really be the high of May 21st. I know that seems kind of like, can you get your tops and bottoms correctly? No, that's Stevie language. That's just simply how I work. So you can see what Mu is doing out here, Mike, in Texas, is just trading inside a range. The range is about 56 and change to 63 and change out here. Do I see a top inside of Mu, which, you know, is not a bad Saki if you've got to order it out there. I'd say there are many better than Mu, and I'm trying to just, that was like a creative stall. It's not working. Just praying that my other chart might populate in time. As I take a look at this, I don't see anything more than a consolidation. I don't see a reason for you to go short inside of Micron Technologies. Whether they were already out with earnings or they're coming in with earnings after the bell, I just don't see it. Maybe you see something different than these eyes, but I see a sign of strength, and I see a test of a swing point high on lighter volume, and all price is really doing is consolidating up in that range. So thanks for asking that question. There was another question that came in from the Tigers Den, and I will get back, Bob, to you on the Dow out here. But the question that we'll go to take a look at next is, and this comes in from our man John, Mr. Z inside the Tigers Den. Does your timing or cycle work tell you anything in particular now through July 20th? Very specific there, July 20th on the U.S. indices. And it says, thank you. And I will say, you're welcome. So when we come back from this break, I'll go into my bag of tricks out there. We'll go take a look at some cycle patterns. What could be at play between now and July? And I want to hear from you as well. Steve at TFNN.com or 877-927-6648. Be right back. I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. So we went into our bag of tricks, and our bag of tricks shows a chart, a graph that's been playing a trick on us this year, and that's called the midterm elections. If we go back to 1934, I believe that's 20-some-odd cycles out there, you can see what the average price movement is inside of the Dow during that time period, which basically says the following, that the Dow typically tops in the middle of April and then makes a bottom towards that election cycle time period. It does it before the election, but usually right around the mid-October and then the early November area, and then it just simply zoom, directionally speaking, to the upside as Santa typically arrives. And this doesn't matter with regard to which party, it's just simply the average. Now, what you and I know at this stage of the game, well, I don't know, do we know this or not? If we go take a look at the Dow, let's just make sure we know what we know. Has the Dow made a top in the middle of April? Well, if we come back and try to find the middle of April on Stevie's chart, we're going to say, no, it hasn't. There was a top out here in January, that's for sure. But with regard to the Dow, and that's what we were looking at, that previous graph was based upon the last 84 years worth of cycle data inside of the Dow. So it doesn't really care what's going on in the Russell 2000 or the NASDAQ. But what we do know is no top, because the most recent high, and we can see out here a series of higher lows and a series of higher highs out here. That's too funny. Siri just somehow figured out I was trying to ask it a question. I wasn't asking it a question whatsoever. In any event, the iPhone's going a little bit berserk out here. And we can see that what the Dow actually did was it tested its lows from February 9th. Light volume. Can't bust them down. You're going to go bust them up. What the Sam heck does that mean? It says you're going to go up at least to the February 27th level, but most likely what you and I know, and Dave Mason knows, is that you're headed back to the January 26th, the all-time highs, and beyond. That's over time. But the question was, hey, how about between now and mid-July? So if we go back to that slide out here, or that graph, what we're going to say is the average, look, here's the reality. There's not anything you do in life where you say, give me the average. Just, you know, when you go to a restaurant, you say, hey, Give me some average service. I don't think so. When you come to this show, I know you're not asking for me to give me your average best out there. No, 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 no. If you ask for average, you know what you're going to get. I can't even say that, even on recorded radio programming or live TV. Yeah, we don't like average. So what can we do? We can go back and take a look at those 24 different election cycles and say, is there anything else? Can we try to find some years that maybe emulate the beginning of May, sell in May cycle, the middle of April cycle, anything that resembles what we're in right now? And when we do that, I came out with possibilities of 5 midterm election years: 1942, 1958, 1990, 1994, and 2014. I'm not saying they are following along exactly any of these 5 years out here, but these were the ones that were the closest. Now, each of those are graphed here individually, all with the same starting point. And so the question is there anything in my work that says, what might happen between now and July? Well, if we take a look at most of these cycles, for example, 1942, it was around, that's the blue line. It's kind of where my cursor is. Not kind of, it is where my cursor is. That in the mid-July timeframe, you saw the market go ahead and make a high and then move lower into that election-ish cycle timeframe out here. Didn't move lower by a ton in 1942, just simply moved lower and kind of went sideways. In 1990, in mid-July, it went lower by a ton, and then once that cycle completed in November, continued moving higher. If we take a look at 1958, in 1958, and this may be the year that 1958, the 2018 best resembles, is the market really from the time period that this cycle work began. We're just now taking a look at May 1st on here, that because of the old sell in May, so I've kind of combined the sell in May aspect with the midterm piece of it, where the Dow just continually, gradually moved higher out here. If we take a look at May 1st as an example, I'll just go to May 3rd because that was the low. Here's the continual, gradual work higher. Now, this goes beyond July, but I think at this stage of the game, that is the year. If I were looking for an analog, that's the year that I believe that we are in right now. Now, what does that mean? It means you got to get through the July level out there. So if you're looking at July 20th, then and what's the market likely going to do between now and then? It depends what indice you're actually talking about, right? Because the Dow is the one that is the indice that is struggling. Russell 2000, no struggle. In fact, we get a question. Scott wanted me to look at the Russell 2000 and all different time frames out there. He asked about the IWM, the NASDAQ 100, the NASDAQ Composite. They're not having any problems out here. So it's just kind of the Dow. What do we really know about the Dow? The Dow is simply in a consolidation. It is as simple as that. And the consolidation pattern is set up from the highs. Here's the consolidation. We can just simply draw in a rectangular box out here. And it's so important to try to identify consolidations, because otherwise you just sit there and you get chopped to smithereens. And nobody likes smithereens out there. So if you're looking to trade an indice, kind of like Earl did. Earl listened. I gave him some targets. He went ahead and fired away. He was smart. I didn't take that action, but Earl did, which was to buy the Russell 2000 when the S&P, the ES Mini, came down and hit a level of support. It hit that level of support. Now, it hasn't gotten above resistance, Earl. That's referring to the ES Mini. And what I mean by that is let's go see what does Steve mean by that. We're talking about that brand new set of TAS market profiles. Now, in the case of the ES Mini, it was began forming June the 14th out there. So the ES Mini, in order for it to follow along like the Russell and the NASDAQ out here, needs to clear 2796. On a daily basis inside the ES Mini, it may be in nothing more than consolidation. That would be between 2739 and 2796. It's tested the low, and it's rejected it. It's probably going to go test the high, 2796. It may blow away the high, much like the NQ if you take a look at panel number 2 on our chart. 2 of 4 of the indices are in full out full-blown bullish mode when we take a look at the daily equity futures contract. Inside the ES Mini, it's bullish. It just happens to be in a consolidation pattern. And when it comes to the Dow, it is the laggard out there. It's just simple. But it's the laggard, but it continues to make higher highs and higher lows coming off of the bottom from back in February. So that is also a bullish pattern until proven otherwise. And then that is our gradual move into what was asked earlier, which was, what does Stevie's red line say for the Dow? Well, Stevie's red line, this is a question from yesterday. I forget who asked it. I apologize. I got to have to go look at another. I wrote something down. But it is 25,043. We're at 24,690. What does that mean? It means we're really just kind of consolidating here. You had a hammer candle yesterday. The market's trying to hammer out a bottom, another higher low with a hammer. Yeah, the day before was a hammer too. Steve Rhodes, TFNN.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live, and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So a little bit of chatter inside the Tiger's Den during that break. Marie, Here's what I'm looking at inside the Dow. So we know the Dow is struggling a bit. It's off 18, 20 points or what have you when you've got the other markets moving to the upside. Ideally, what we will see transpire out here inside the Dow, and I'm looking at the 5-hour time frame chart, which has been 5-hour time frame chart for whatever reason has been providing just really excellent signals in many of the indices out here, and many of the equity futures contracts. Sorry about that when I say indices. And you can see that at yesterday's lows, I think that came in around 4 o'clock in the morning or something. Let me see. That came in at 4 o'clock in the morning. Would have been wave number 6 to the downside. So what I'm looking for is, and the exact same topping pattern that formed out here. Mr. Z asked about, cycle work, and he may have been inferring how much time needs to take place in order for one of Stevie's Rhodes momentum tops or bottoms to form out here. And there is a certain amount of time that is associated with that pattern. And with regard to so now when I come back to a 5-hour time frame chart, what the Dow has been doing in its kind of sideways-ish move has been getting enough of that time within the cycle in order to generate that next potential because it's not here just yet, bottom. So ideally what we'll see, Marie, and I don't know whether it'll be this afternoon or overnight or when it will be. My guess would be it'll be sometime after 9 o'clock, when the Shanghai, the Hang Seng, and, when the Nikkei, when they start trading. But what you're looking for, and you know what to look for. You're good. You know what to look for. So let's look for price to take out those lows, create that little Stevie pattern, look for that bullish reversal candle or price to get above Stevie's red line. Then that could cement everything with all the indices and beginning to move to the upside. It is what I am looking for. Doesn't mean it will happen, but it is what I'm anticipating. There's a way that I would answer the question about cycle work, because it's a little bit different type of cycle, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful cycle. Okay, so hopefully that helps out our special M in the Tigers den out here. Let's go to a couple of folks that wrote in questions. Specifically, we mentioned Scott, and Scott said, please review the IWM and all time frames and give me your thoughts out here. So if we take a look at the IWM specifically, since that's what you asked me to do, then let's put this chart up on the screen, and we've got some, let's take a look at what is it that we know about the IWM. So A to B, it's making another A to B equals CD to the upside. Just out of curiosity, no idea whether on January 22nd, when it made a high at the 160.63 with 86 million shares, if it was passed with volume. Well, turns out it was. It was on May 14th, 89 million shares. For those of you that are volume aficionados, I just believe it's only one piece of the puzzle, and you need to have more pieces of the puzzle in order to put the puzzle together. What this does here, Scott, is it gives you a 1-to-1 price projection that you've hit today. That's 169, even Steven out there. But the reality is, price is strong. It's on the left-hand side of the C to D leg out here. There's no bullish reversal signal. There's no reason to believe that the IWM is not headed to the next level. This is just looking at a very small A to B equals CD, and that would take you to 176.21. If I take a look at let's see if this will update for you, IWM, and because oftentimes inquiring minds want to know, and it looks like this is moving higher with conviction behind it. Let me just make sure how I have this thing set. Do I have, yeah, this thing is, so the things that might normally be associated with a top, not in place. Yesterday, looks like that was a TD sequential count. And the day before was a TD combo count. It just simply doesn't care. Stevie's red line, by the way, 168.99. Real level of support out here would be about 166.31 on any kind of a pullback. So the daily looks muy bueno. We take a look at the weekly time frame chart. It continues to move higher due to less relative energy. It too has an A to B equals CD pattern. If we take a look at it, we're going to see that its price projection Maybe this was the same one. So the weekly's got the same one. 176.19 should be its next level out here. So that looks pretty good. If we go take a look at the monthly time frame chart, are there any problems in River City? There really aren't. And the larger, not the largest, but the larger A to B equals CD pattern going on inside of the Russell on a monthly basis says that where price is headed to is 181.42. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, inside, I can't recall exactly. Well, can I? Do I have that chart up on my screen out here? I might have closed it I might have closed it. 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 I didn't close it. So, and I'll just simply give you where I believe longer term view that the Russell 2000 is now headed for. Stevie's got a price target of 28.72. That's another 1,100 points higher. But that's okay because the Dow, that's headed, we know, at a minimum of 30,740. I'll have another price target for that. The S&P, 5,064. And then we know Stevie's price target in the NDX 100 is 88 and change out there. So that's a longer-term picture. So, Scott, I hope that helps you out with regard to the IWM. If new information shows up on our charts, then we'll go ahead and take that new information and go from there. Joseph C., can you please give me some price targets on Google? Is this a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside? Joseph is in some July 1100 calls. So let's go take a look at Google out here. Let's go look at it on our 3 time frame chart. Let's put that in, and that'll be easier. So, whoops, GOOG. So you're in the July 1100. Wow, good for you. So you got a week. Today's Wednesday. By the way, I will not be able to do the show on Friday, so mark that on your calendar. Not that that's a big deal. But tomorrow's show, instead of being done live from 1 to 2, I will be doing the show between 8 and 9 in the morning. So if you're on the West Coast, get up really early to tune in or listen to the archive show. And the archive show, will have been taped pre-market open. So we'll take a look at what the equity futures contracts are saying and so forth. So I just have a travel schedule that restricts my ability to do tomorrow's show during the normal programming. So, Joseph, you're in these calls. You're in the money. And what Google is doing, I'm looking at the weekly time frame. Now, I know you're in July calls, so you've got 4 weeks, give or take. But what Google really needs to do for you is close above its all-time previous high, January 29th, of 1186.89. Now, there were 11 million shares out there. This week, you're only up with about 3.9 million shares. Doesn't mean it can't overtake that level. And that's what you want to see. But it's also very possible, because it tried to do this once before. This was back on March 12th. There were 9 million shares during that week. So you still have 2 more days left from a volume standpoint, but we're in the summer. So it's not going to blow anybody's skirt up from a volume standpoint. This could be in the old-fashioned consolidation out here. You've got a decision to make. You may be up towards the highs right now. I don't know how many calls you've got, but it may have a tough time busting through the high out here of 1186.89.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So HDTV wrote in and wants to go take a look at VistaGold. Hi, Steve. Would you please look at VGZ, that is Vista Gold Corp. Looks like it's been in a downtrend for a long time. Looks like it could drop to 66 cents or lower. And then there's a couple other things and other comments that I don't need to share with the listener base out there. But in essence, HD wants to take a look at Vista Gold. So if we look at Vista Gold, yeah, it's been in a downtrend, no question about that. Even on a daily time frame chart from February 15th into the time period where it made a low here, recent low on June the 12th. So definitely a downtrend. Now, what this did on the trading session here, and so, you know, HD, this is how I would kind of interpret the trading session of June 13th, is you had a sign of strength. So at a minimum, you had a sign of strength. 151,000 shares were traded there for Vista Gold compared to a couple days ago, 120,000 shares. Today, 35,000 shares. It appears, you know, the sellers have somewhat vacated. You're absolutely right, though. 66 cents, the bottom of its daily profile, is 67 cents. So not a stretch for it to trade back to 66 cents or even to trade all the way back to the lows of, well, that was 66 cents of June the 12th. But you do have a little sign of strength. You might even have an A to B equals CD to the upside. Small one, very small one out there. Nothing to write home about. That's what the daily time frame chart shows. I know you're thinking of exiting your position there. And I'd say with that sign of strength that if you've held on this far, don't do it just yet because you have that little sign of strength. What else is it that you can anticipate out here? And there's no question this thing has been a dog. You know what I mean, HD? It has been a dog. It's kind of dead money. If we look at a weekly chart out here, it's kind of been dead money since June of 2017. So for 2 years, this has been trading in the range between 90 cents and 63 cents out there. And yeah, you can say on a percentage basis, if you actually caught the bottom at 63 cents, you know, maybe at one stage you made some decent percentage bread out here. But the reality is, you know, is this going to be a bread that's going to rise? That's the question. We take a look at its weekly profile out here. You can see the price is trading with inside slightly bullish structured box. If it does move higher, 87 cents becomes your resistance level. I don't know where you're at inside this trade, but I wouldn't exit just yet. And can it go lower than 66 cents or 62 cents out there? Yeah, it unfortunately can when you start going back further left on the chart. And we take a look at the monthly profile, it says 45 cents is game. I'm not saying it's going to 45 cents. I'm saying it's game. If this sign of strength out here that took place on June 13th doesn't assist you, then 45, and you see it close below that low from June 12th out there, and you see it close below 68 cents on a weekly basis, then 45 cents is game. But if it were me and I was sitting in a position right now, don't know how long you have held on to it, would I exit it? No, I'd wait for some more information. But just keep a stop in place, and you can make that an intraday stop as well, so that you only absorb as much pain as possible. You can always get back in on any trade out there. So that takes care of all of the questions that I see. I would love to hear from you, and feel free to go ahead and send in any questions. I may not be able to get to them during this show, but I will tomorrow from 8 to 9, which means you can listen in live as I do that show, or you can listen to the archive version from 1 to 2. And I like to, if you take the time to write, I'm going to take the time to go ahead and give you my best stuff. There is nothing average that I am going to provide you with. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so without any other questions out there, what should we go take a look at? What should we go take a look at? Hey, as far as the markets, it's summertime. It's light volume. Does it matter? I will tell you no. I will suggest to you what matters is what are these indices doing in other currencies? What is the trader on the other side of the pond, that being the Pacific pond and the Atlantic pond, what are they looking at on their screens? Well, if we go take a look at the Russell 2000 on an intraday basis, we look at the equity futures contracts, we take a look at it in dollars, on this side of the pond, those people that are trading it are saying, this is great. It's a breakout. It's another breakout on a 30-minute basis above a prior swing. If you're looking in euros, you're like, this is great. You made a new all-time high about an hour ago. It's another breakout. If you happen to be over in Japan, you're doing a little kompai, you know, a little sake out there, you're looking at it saying, this is great. It's breaking out on my screen too. If you happen to be over in London and you're looking at your screen, you're saying, this is great, because it is also breaking out there. The Russell 2000, if your money has to go somewhere, it's got to go somewhere. It's not going into gold. That much we know. We know that with certainty. It's not necessarily piling into the Dow, but it is most certainly piling into the Russell 2000 across the globe. You are not the only person or individual or firm that trades the Russell 2000. All you've got to do is follow the money to make. And what do you think is more important? Is it the volume that you just look at on your screen? Because you can trade the Russell 2000 in many different vehicles out here. Or is it what is breaking out on screens across the globe? And I would say that is the most important thing. If we take a look at the NASDAQ 100, the NQ, and we go take a look at what it is doing on screens across the world, well, it's breaking out in dollars. It hasn't broken out in euros, believe it or not, up to new all-time highs. It continues to move higher. It is, and it has, broken out to new all-time highs in pounds. So in the U.S. and over in London, they're having a party. They're like, this is great. It's a breakout. In Japan, not there just yet. It is continuing to move higher. It has taken out resistance levels, but it really is the Russell 2000. So don't short the Russell 2000 for those of you that believe it's just a matter of time before the rug gets pulled. Do something that is that doesn't have, that is clearly is not on everybody's screen, that is breaking out. Unless you've got some timing signal inside the Russell that says, you got to be careful out here. I don't see it. hasn't been presented to me just yet. If we take a look at the general markets and the other indices out here, you and I, we could go take a look at the New York Stock Exchange. Its advanced decline oscillator reading right now, knocking on the door, it actually is trading above zero. If you take a look at what the NASDAQ composite new all-time highs, what's its advanced decline oscillator? It's bullish. It's above zero. If you take a look at the Dow's got problems. We've talked about that. You and I believe we're going to see another push, another little flush to the downside inside the Dow, which may set up that bottoming pattern. We might know tomorrow between 8 and 9 o'clock when we're live in the show. Well, we're going to cover it for sure. And inside the S&P 500, that spot volatility index, that's our guide there. Yesterday, tested, rejected the 50-day exponential moving average, 1431 year, 1248 today. The S&P 500 is bullish, period. End of story. Sayonara. Adios. But we'll be back for our final segment.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
This is David White. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Trading Hour right here on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. A couple questions came in. See if we get to them. Dave says, Steve, why do you think the New York Stock Exchange is lagging? I don't know. I don't think that it matters is really more so the question. I think that what you and I know simply is that you've got global. When I take a look at the global flow of capital, Dave, I have a set of charts. There are so many of them, and I have to close those out, otherwise everything gets bogged down. But I take a look at each of the indices around the world. to try to find glimpses of where maybe the global flow is coming into to come up off of the bottom. And you don't see it in the other indices. You see it here in the U.S. indices. And that actually goes into Gene's question. And Gene asked the question, Steve, how can you be so sure that the Dow has not topped? And I just summarized Gene's question. And the answer, Gene, is this, and it kind of goes along the line with regard to Dave's question, too. And here's what I know about the Dow, and here's what we know about the global flow of capital, especially the Dow. When the Dow tops, it's going to do it in all currencies at the same time, or very close to it. I'm talking about within days. And what we know about the Dow priced in euros and the Dow priced in pounds, it has already gone on to make a new all-time high, whereas the Dow priced in dollars has not. You cannot take it back to the January high out there. So if you and I were playing, if you like to play Texas Hold'em, you just got two big tells from the poker players out there. So the Dow is going to go to new all-time highs. It's just a matter of when. What I also know is that when the Dow makes its topping pattern, going back to the 1870s, it has always made it with one pattern that has preceded the beginning of every bear market. Not that every one of these patterns turns into a bear market, but every bear market, which is what many people talk about, has had this pattern, just as it did as I look at this monthly chart here back in 2000 and in 2007. And if I fast forward that to where we're at now, I don't care if it's a daily, if it's a weekly, if it's a monthly, if it's a quarterly chart, that pattern doesn't exist. The Dow will make a new all-time high. When? I don't know. But tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. If not, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Magnificent Monday. Take care, folks.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.